So let's just go over the practical for the manual mode now, and you'll see that there is great similarity in this practical as what we were doing last week, except now we're obviously functioning, operating both aperture and shutter selections ourselves. So we'll go through the list very briefly because we're basically repeating the same type of practical from last week. So again, taking a photograph, student ID card. Second photo is the available light using a large aperture and one with a smaller aperture, and figuring out, so using that as a reference and figuring out the reciprocal for your shutter speed. The third portion or task here is having the lights off in the room, taking a photo with external flash, using the external flash. And when we say external flash, again, we're not using the flash that is built into the camera. This is using your speed light, a remote flash. A photo without the flash. A photo without the flash should depict a fully illuminated room using the extended shutter speed. So again, looking at the way that light travels and how quickly it falls off, you may need to compensate for the shadowed area or the areas in further distance that the projected light is simply not able to illuminate properly. So by extending the shutter speed, slowing the shutter speed down a little bit, it will allow for more light or more time for that light to hit the sensor. Carrying on as well, task number 4, photographing a student partner, again 2 meters away, one photo using a wide aperture. Number 5, photographing a student standing in front of a window with a bright sun backlight, a photo depicting the subject properly exposed, a photo depicting the background properly exposed. So again, manipulating where using the aperture and shutter speed to illuminate either the subject or the background to get that properly exposed. Because of the extreme conditions of having a shadow and a very bright background, you may not necessarily be able to get a perfectly exposed image. One or the other might be still in either extreme shadow or brightness, but it's trying to average it out to try and get the best possible average effect and not necessarily the perfect image. Number 6, photographing a shade tree from a sunny location showing both sun and shaded area, as we did last week. Photographing a student partner standing in shadow from bright location without the flash. Number 8, photographing a student partner flapping their arms quickly. One photo using a fast shutter speed, one photo using a slow shutter speed. So just going back for 1 second here to the previous photos, again, when you're taking those photos, experiment with different aperture and shutter speeds, but you're trying to get the most usable or the average or the best type of exposed image that you can. Compensating for that shadowing and bright light effect. Okay, so number 9, photographing a student partner jumping, again, as number 8 was, demonstrating the effect of a fast versus a slow shutter speed for both of those functions. And number 10, photographing a student partner running perpendicular to the camera using a slow shutter speed. And again, creating that appearance of movement. We've just put at the bottom that same referencing guide as examples between aperture, wide and narrow apertures, and as well as fast and slow shutter speeds. So again, as last week's exercise was, do the same for recording your results on your chart, and this exercise has a total of 15 photos in it as well.